Alright guys, I know I've been blasting you with mod videos and some people like them, some people don't, but I just finished Dirk's build and I'm going to ship this out Monday. So I want to get this video completed so I can do other videos. So I'm going to do a price breakdown. I know I didn't record the whole process of this particular build, and this has been a long one, unfortunately, just getting all the parts sorted and working with Dirk, the owner, just trying to get everything sorted, dialed in exactly, because we've changed a few things from what we originally thought it was going to be to what it ended up being. And I think you need to remain fluid in that process. Otherwise, what you thought in your mind, might not come out the way that you had hoped. So, and that's exactly what happened. So we switched it up, and this result is much better, I think. So, some are going to like this one, some are not going to like this one. But this one's crazy expensive, guys. The most expensive build I've done so far. So, and I think Dirk's actually pretty proud of owning the most expensive one that I've done so far. So, let's get right into it. So, the expense actually begins with the donor turtle. And now this is just the way I do it. I know I'm on a couple of mod groups, and I know you can do the dial and hand separately and keep the cost down, but that's assuming you can find the dial and hands. I find it, I guess, easier to just gut a turtle. In this case, we started with the SBDY041. Here it is. Here's its carcass, and we're going to do something with that eventually too. But so right away, the SBDY 041, my cost on that was $717.88. Maybe you can find it cheaper, maybe you can't. I don't know. That's what I paid, and so that's our starting cost. So, and I'm just going to run through the numbers and the parts of what they cost, and then I'll put it down in the description too, and then towards the end of the video, I'll give you the total cost. And there is some variance in here, but so we're looking at just under 720 just for the donor turtle. Now, this black watch case is actually from a new supplier that I found, thankfully, and it's going to save me a few dollars and a little more personal connection, and he's in the United States. And I'll probably do a separate video on that as far as giving you links to his cases and everything. But I'll try to put one in the description as well. But it is, well, let me see if I can find. This is his card that he gave me. So it's youtube.com 44pm 444pm watches at Gmail. So I'll put some of that information in the description too. But that's where I got the case from. You are going to recognize the case. Other manufacturers have similar or exactly the same case. We're not going to get into the details on that, but it's a matte black with drilled lugs, and there's a few different, there's the way he sells them is $115 for the package, and the package is the case back, which it's the sterile case back like this, which is a little more shallow, and it will not fit with the turtle guts unless you swap the spacer out. So it's designed for the factory SKX spacer, so that's why I didn't use those. So his price $115 includes the case back, the case back gasket, the click spring, the crystal gasket, and fat spring bars. So I didn't really use some of that parts. So we're going to call, let's call it $80 for the case, because I'm going to deduct some of those parts. I used the math of $80 for the case, so it's going to cost you more for the case. We can adjust the price, but anyway, let's move on. The bezel. Now this was a little tricky to find, and the place I found it was actually Artifice out in California, and they are $55 for this Cerakoted factory SKX bezel. But I went to go order another one, and it's really not $55. It ends up being like close to $68 after all the shipping and everything like that. But we're still going to just count it as $55, just for the sake of this build, just because who cares? They're just numbers anyway, right? So that's what that is. This is a artifice Cerakoted, or any Cerakoted black factory SKX bezel. And I think it matches everything perfectly. The bezel insert is a Namoki's. This is the black Yachtmaster style bezel insert. This guy is $41. The Sapphire crystal is also a Namoki's double domed sapphire crystal with clear anti-reflective coating. Those are like $42. The black matte black chapter ring inside is also a Namoki's. Those are $19. The crown and stem assembly fitted from crystaltimes is the new CT228, and you can see their new design there is awesome, and it has triple gaskets on it, so that's really nice. Those are $34.95, and then there's a loomed one, which I'll show you here in a minute, that's actually $5 more, but these regular ones are $34.95. And then the crystaltimes, I think it's a CT202 or something like that. The case back here is $24.95, and that'll come with a gasket as well. But that's the one we went with for this build. So using the adjusted numbers that I applied to this build, the grand total is $1,014.78. So we've crested that $1,000 mark. Even if you would, jump those prices back up to what they actually are, it's just going to escalate the price a little bit more, probably another $40 or $50. So you're still, and then Dirk also ordered a strap code bracelet, which is about $100. So you're talking, this is over $1,100 build. This is just the strap that the factory turtle came on, which I think works really good for it. Matter of fact, I'll give you a wrist shot, and then I'll give you a loom shot because it is, the watch build as well. It has that really nice blue dial. I think it works good with the all the matte black case and bezel insert and stem and crown, and then that pop of that green hand. It's just, you're not going to see anything like this elsewhere. So whether you like it or not, it's Dirk likes it. I'm extremely happy with the way it turned out. Bezel action is perfection. I think, a really good fresh bezel gasket, the click spring, and then using the factory SKX bezel just is perfection. And I know usually with the Yachtmaster one, I would do no click spring, but I mixed it up and I did a click spring in this one, so because it gives Dirk a nice fidget spinner there, a little clickety clack going on. So let me know what you guys think on this. I can show you next to a stock Seiko SKX. So you have its origins, even though it's basically not. You can see the polar difference once you get into modding, how dynamic you can make these, whatever you want to do with them, We talked about it in the past too, So I do have a few more builds coming up, and Dirk was trusting enough and willing to go deep with this one. And I think that's really all I'm interested in doing, is unfortunately for some people, is the more expensive builds. Kind of limits the market. I'll do a video breakdown of this guy here soon. This is another one I just completed. This is from the SRP C23, the anthracite dial. I think that one turned out really good as well. So I'll do a video breakdown of that guy, and then just give you a little sneak peek if you've watched this long. I have a Ninja Turtle in the workroom here, and you can imagine what's going to happen with this guy. So that's going to happen really soon. And this one is going to be, this build for the Ninja Turtle is going to be even more expensive than Dirk's build. Is it ridiculous? Yes. Guys, buying all these watches is ridiculous in the first place. So why not go all in? And just get stupid ridiculous. So that's what I'm doing right now, and I'm having fun doing it, and I'm glad Dirk was able to join in on the process. We did a lot of communicating back and forth instantly, and that's the type of communication I like to do for the builds I like to do. So, all right, guys, thanks for watching, and I will see you on the next vid. Big thanks to Dirk for going in on this and funding it. You know, I could build these on my own, but they're going to be few and far between. I think if I can get people to jump in and basically communicate with me and be part of the process of the build, then I can do, I don't want to say more of these, but I can continue to do them. So, all right, guys, thanks for watching. I'll give you a loom shot. No loomed bezel on this one. You're going to see a bunch of loom in the background, but you can see a killer Seiko loom and the reflection off that double dome sapphire crystal. So, all right, guys, see you on the next vid.